Of scientists are now saying that they have debunked a recent report that came out of the UN on climate change. They're releasing their own findings. They say that the doom and gloom is all wrong, according to their science. Mike Tobin is live in Chicago, so good morning to you, Mike. What did they find?
Good. Well, there is no impending global crisis due to climate change. That is the conclusion, Martha, of a panel of scientists set up to examine alternatives to the conclusions of the UN Commission Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC, about carbon emissions. The non-governmental International Panel on Climate Change, or NIPSI, concludes that there is more carbon in the atmosphere, but it will not cause catastrophic deadly storms. The human impact is small. Any changes in temperature are within the historic scope of temperature variables. But people in the scientific community, they say, are up against tremendous peer pressure, even financial pressure, to reach the conclusion that industry is having a devastating impact on the environment. NIPSI conclusions are being published by the conservative Heartland Institute.
Ethical standards have been lowered, peer review has been corrupted, and we can't trust what appears in our most prestigious journals anymore.
As far as climate change having a devastating impact on plant life and food supply, the NIPSI conclusion is that plant life thrives on carbon dioxide. With more of it in the atmosphere, plants will do better. Martha?
Wow, very interesting. So obviously, because this is such a hot debate, the panel must have some very outspoken critics, I would imagine.
Yeah, you don't have to search far to find the critics. Essentially, your mainstream scientists are going after the credibility of the scientists on the panel.
That's not really an assessment. That's not an assessment of scientists. Mostly that's a bunch of old retired guys that got together and wrote a report for the Heartland Institute that it's basically full of misinformation. It's not peer-reviewed.
Now, the Heartland Institute claims that NIPSI is extensively peer-reviewed. The big public rollout is tomorrow in D.C. You heard it here first.